Greetings, Goddess Body Mind Spirit community. This is Tyra Omilade, your goddess guru, your sister friend, and I love helping women align with their life purpose using the power of ancient wisdom and the goddess centered lifestyle. It's all about stepping into your power and living a life that you have designed, goddess. And today I want to talk to you about the astrology for May 2023. Let's do this. Hello, hello. How are you all doing? Let's see who's here. Grand Rising. How are you, Natasha? Wealth Rising, Keita May. Hello to my big sister, Felicia. Hello to all of the hashtag replay queens. Yes, yes, yes. Welcome, welcome, welcome. So yeah, I wanted to come on today and talk a little bit about the astrology for May 2023. Woo! Wow, it is something to really talk about. I do want to go on ahead and let's see here. Let me try something else. I want to share with you all, I have an upcoming retreat. The public retreats are back. I have just been retreating with the spiritual aspirant initiates here lately, just because I didn't have the bandwidth to open up the new moon circle to everyone. But I'm excited to come back with the Taurus new moon circle, because this one we're going to be focusing on self-worth and value. Let me just make sure the music doesn't come back on. Boom. Okay. So yeah, I'm so excited that it's back, because now we're going to be focusing on worth. We're going to be focusing on prosperity, currency, but I want us to also think about it in terms of, like, what is your own personal currency, right? A lot of us are working on the money. We're working on, let me just make sure I sound okay. All right. Hello, hello. So I want us to be focused on creating more money, wealth, abundance, prosperity, because that is what Taurus is about. Taurus is about resources, but also it's just about, how do you have currency within you? I remember one time a friend said to me that my currency is relationship. So sometimes we want to just notice, what is this thing about us that just naturally and easily flows? We're very resourceful in certain areas of our lives, but we want to be able to just like really tap in and tune into that, because we want to have that flow. So I think it is important for us to set these new moon intentions, because it's going to carry us for the next year. Do you want more prosperity, abundance, wealth? It's also about, Taurus is also about our health and how we're eating. And, with the eclipses happening in Taurus, it is giving us an opportunity to get our money right, our money mindset right, our abundance consciousness right. It's like a whole new way that we can go. We get to just like press the reset button in that area of our lives. And so when we come into retreat, these are the kinds of things that we'll be focused on. Everyone who comes to the retreat, you will get through the moon signs, which I typically put inside of my YouTube membership. So you will get that if you're, if you're not in the YouTube membership, you're going to get that as a part of the retreat. Let me see here. What else did I want to talk about? Yeah. The theme for the retreat is worth, a circle gathering experience on money, your unique brilliance, and receiving. I'm a Taurus moon, so I'm a little bit partial. I'm a little bit partial. I'm only charging $22 for the retreat because I was just putting everything into the retreat, like hypnosis tracks and mindfulness tracks. And it was just a lot of extra work. And honestly, people weren't signing up that much for my retreat. So I decided just to go on ahead and charge $22 so you get the retreat experience. There is going to be a replay of the retreat, which I encourage you to watch the replay. But also, you get that through the moon signs video. Okay. Grand rising to EM. How are you, Priestess? Hello, Jasmine, who is listening. Buenos dias to Paulette. How are you? Also, just greetings to all of the hashtag replay sisters. And let me pull up the astrology for this month. Let's see here. Okay. So let me just make sure I say it. For those who are interested, I hope to see you in the retreat. You are welcome to come in. I hope that you join us. So last week I talked about this Pluto retrograde, and actually within my if you're in the YouTube membership, I went through that Pluto retrograde by sign. I think that this Pluto retrograde is going to be very rich and productive for us in the sense that it's new in Aquarius and it has brought up so much. It seems like it's been a little bit rough with Pluto coming into Aquarius. I want y'all to think about Aquarius is a fixed sign. And so with fixed signs, that means that people don't want to move. That was one of the things that I said. I think it will be challenging for this year is because we have Pluto going into Aquarius, Saturn going into Pisces, and those planets have been in one sign for a good long while, especially Pluto. And so humans don't like to change. It's not bad, it's no judgment. It's just that it's the way our subconscious mind is set up. Our subconscious mind likes to have routines, do the same thing over and over. Doesn't matter if it's good for you or bad for you, it just wants familiarity, right? And so when we're moving in a new direction, it takes a little while to feel comfortable with that. One of the best things that I ever heard someone say to me, especially when it comes to um, going for your goals and your dreams, the things that you desire in your life, or when it comes to having a business, is you have to be comfortable with being uncomfortable. That was one of the first things I adopted. One of the first rules, I guess you could say, for living that I have adopted. Be comfortable with being uncomfortable. Like there's nothing wrong when it feels uncomfortable. But a lot of us will feel extremely uncomfortable because of these planets moving into new signs. But, you know, Aquarius is a fixed sign. It likes Aquariuses are some of the most tried and true people. They're going to be in there. They're going to hang in there with you. They'll be weird. They'll be quirky. There's even times when Aquariuses will do things that are unexpected. But for the most part, once you have an Aquarius on your side, they will be there for you forever. It's the nature of Aquarius. And so, Pluto is like coming in and like shaking us up. And it's like, I want to change and I want to transform. And Aquarius is like, no, 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 don't change and transform. And so we've gotten a taste of what Pluto and Aquarius means for us, and what new direction we need to go in. And so now we're on review. We're going to go back and kind of like, all right, we need to put a pause on, how we're in school, and you just keep working something. Let's think about math. We're going to put a pause on it, and we're just going to keep going over these particular math concepts over and over and over again, because you got to get this foundation before you can move forward. So that's what it'll feel like in part. But then there's also some unfinished business that we have in Capricorn, which For those of you in the YouTube membership, I'm going to talk about that once we get into Capricorn. Just going over Pluto retrograde in Aquarius was a lot. It was like, let's just take it easy, take it slow, keep it simple. All right. Keep it simple, sister. But eventually we're going to go back into Capricorn with that Pluto. And it's time to focus on whatever we're being asked to focus on with that, right? We're being asked to finish up some stuff because Pluto is going to be, we'll be in Capricorn for a little while. But anywho, still, we're tying up loose ends with this Capricorn, okay? Hello, still learning. Hello, Johnny J, Radiant Rose. I'm a Capricorn and my Pluto is in Scorpio. My goodness, I am laying low and it's the best choice I've made for this year. Beautiful. Yes, yes, yes. Yeah, laying low this year I think is a really good practice. Okay. So we had that lunar eclipse in Scorpio, which I'm sure everyone has felt in some kind of way. It's just been, I'm not going to say it's been all bad for me, that full moon lunar eclipse in Scorpio last year, because I think so much about astrology. I know for a fact last year, my older son graduated at the Scorpio full moon. And I just remember being in awe because it had been a long 4 years. And, it was like this big to do at the Coast Guard Academy. So I was out at night and I was just in awe at how big and full and potent that moon was. Actually, last year, that was the good thing. And then the bad thing was I got in an argument with my dad. Well, we worked it out. So this year I was in awe. I was in awe that my younger son graduated with his associate's degree. So he still has 2 years to go in college, but he graduated with his 2-year degree on the day of the full moon in Scorpio. So beautiful, beautiful, beautiful. However, I just have seen, like, even for me emotionally, it's just my stuff. It's like my inner world is just bubbling up and I'm having to face it. I just have heard so many people have had such a challenging time this last week with this full moon eclipse. So yeah, it hasn't been all fun. I just want to see something. the day of the full moon, that was May 5th. Where was Mercury? Yeah, Mercury was pretty much opposite that full moon. So because the reason I'm saying that is I just heard so much about technology, a lot of tech issues or stuff with traveling, definitely major. Now, the next is Venus in Capricorn. That happened on Sunday. So I'm actually going to talk about it in general here, and then I'll go through the signs within my YouTube membership. I would invite you to join the YouTube membership if you want to get more of the details about different transits like this. But Venus and the membership is only $9.99 right here on YouTube. So Venus in Cancer, what I think that is going to do for us, Venus is an emotional planet and Cancer is an emotional sign. So a lot of us will begin to feel a little bit more emotion, but that's a good thing, right? I think that for us to be able to be okay with the whole emotional gamut, this kind of emotion will be more nostalgic. It'll kind of be like, oh my gosh, I remember. And see, Mars has been there, or is there, I should say. And I'm cracking up at myself because um, I here lately, I was just like, I want to listen to all these old songs from when I was like a teenager. You just get so nostalgic with anytime there's something Cancerian. So will be very nostalgic. And Cancer is also about family. Venus is about relationships. So some of us will be like, well, I really want to focus on spending time with my family. I want to have better relationships with my family. Or it just may be that you're pondering the loss of relationship in some kind of way when it comes to the family. Let's see here. Venus is relationships. And so again, it might just be, I just want to see my family. I think it's interesting. I personally don't really honor all of the holidays. I don't acknowledge them all here. Not even Mother's Day, because it's so triggering for so many people for a number of reasons. So for somebody like me, my mother died 4 days before Mother's Day. So Mother's Day is always a little bit challenging for me. Um, but let's just go with Mother's Day is this upcoming Sunday, and Venus in Cancer. Some of these mamas out here gonna get some nice Mother's Day gifts, baby. All right, because Venus is that abundance. So I just think that's the perfect placement for those who do love that day and want to celebrate it. Is the perfect placement for Mother's Day. Um, Venus is our values. So it's kind of like maybe we'll be looking at our family values, or we'll be questioning, am I really valuing my family the way that one time, sometimes we say we value our family, but then we don't really do it doesn't look like we value our family about how we act. And so we might be looking at that sort of thing. We may find that we're just really wanting a lot of sweets or good food, because Venus is definitely connected to food. And Venus wants this rich, exquisite food. Cancer loves to cook. It's a food sign. You think about, this is stereotypical, but just roll with me. We think about the mama that loves to cook for her family, right? That's Cancer. Mama cooking for the family. And so, yeah, we'll want food. Maybe kind of like, for me, I was raised up in the South USA. So like maybe I'll feel like I just want to go eat at a place where there's like some soul food. I want some good soul food, and I don't even want it to be healthy, which I will eat it healthy. I'm not gonna I can't go down that path. But who knows? Maybe for me, y'all drop into the comments if you think about like that favorite thing from your childhood. If you have beautiful memories about your mom cooking something for you, you may not. And I want you to instead think about beautiful memories of somebody who just cooked something that just made you feel so good on the inside. All right. Could be grandmama, could be auntie, could be the next door neighbor. Shoot, maybe some of y'all's the lunch lady, right? Some of us had good lunch rooms, not many, but some of us. But I want you to think about, what is that food for you? My mama used to make the best potato salad. My mama, everyone, whenever our family got together, everybody wanted mama's potato salad. Those are the kinds of foods that we may find that we want. But I really want you to use this time, as we talk about spirituality and women's empowerment. I want you to use this time to really be attuned to what your intuition is bringing to you. Okay. So I want you to tap into your intuition and really, um, I need to tell you something, Natasha. Something just hit me because I saw your comment from yesterday. I want to tell you something. But tune into your intuition and hear how you're being guided. Okay. Now, Cancer is caring, nurturance, and Venus is about taking care of yourself, maybe even your appearance. So maybe your intuition is guiding you in how to care for yourself. Maybe your intuition is guiding you in how to bring in more abundance into your life. Okay. So, Natasha, I'm telling you, some people, the lunch lady was the one who is like, she changed my life. I used to love lunch ladies. I was always the one that was gonna get to know them, even the mean ones. Eventually, I was gonna win that lunch lady over. And my son, when he was at the Coast Guard Academy, one of the ladies who worked in the cafeteria, whoa, she loved him so much. So yeah, lunch ladies. I have a very, very sincere heart for lunch ladies. Okay, so I want to talk to the Geminis. Oh, yes. Okay. I'm going to talk about some of these comments that I see, but I want to go to Natasha. For all the Geminis out there who struggle with emotional eating, you have Cancer on the second house. And so when you have Cancer on the second house, that's what leads um Geminis to be emotional eaters. You would not think that about Geminis, but Geminis, because sometimes Geminis can be very long and lean, but that doesn't mean that they don't have some type of like food, like emotional eating, I think is what you'll call it. So what I'll say, Natasha, is that Mars has been in that second house. Mars leaves out on the 20th. It moves into Leo. I think you'll feel better after that. For all of the Geminis, Johnny is a Capricorn. And so 35-year protect. Yeah. Yeah. 35th year is definitely a very challenging, profected year. Yes. And I'm happy the full moon has been good to you. But as a Capricorn, say for instance, the Capricorns may have felt challenged by Mars being in Cancer. So if you're a Capricorn, it may feel challenging because Mars has been opposite your sign. And then Felicia mentioned the emotional stuff has me raw. It made me think about Mars in Cancer. Mars is very volatile. It brings inflammation. It is like an explosion. So, yes, that one is very important to know that some of us may be emotionally raw because Mars has been in the sign of emotion. Some of us may have had challenges in our gut. So, once we get to the 20th, it will be better. But yeah, it's been rough. It's been rough. Yes, you're welcome. Okay, so now for Jupiter um on the 12th, I'm excited about this because two things are happening with Jupiter. So it really kind of speaks to this Taurus new moon that I was talking about with you all, how it's important for us to be using this as a time to really um uh, ground ourselves in abundance, ground ourselves in healing our e- our emotional bodies, our abundance consciousness. That's what I'm trying to say. Okay. So Jupiter is the planet of expansion and it has been invisible. And so when a planet is invisible, this work becomes internal. And so some of us may have been really focused on things that are about like on the inside. It's like, why won't I just allow myself to expand and grow? Why do I just stay so contracted? Or you might be thinking something like, there's some coursework that I've been working on and I haven't finished it, but if I finish it, then I'll be more on a level of mastery when it comes to this particular topic, whatever it is. I don't understand why I won't finish it. I'm like grappling with why am I not doing this coursework? Or it could be, I know, the truth, but why am I not living the truth? But we're all just doing it on the inside ever since Jupiter has been invisible. So this week, the energy of Jupiter is very, very strong because Jupiter is going from being invisible to being visible. And so, with that, what we're going to end up beginning to see is some manifestation because Jupiter is also abundance. And it's like the benefic energy of the universe. It's the great benefic. And so, with Jupiter being a great benefic, we can allow ourselves, but see, Jupiter's only going to expand what you're currently working on. So you want to be bringing yourself in a position where, as much as you can, have yourself thinking and feeling and being the version of yourself that if it were to like get magnified under a magnifying glass, you would be good with that version of yourself. I'm gonna say it that way. Um, because Jupiter's gonna go visible. Now it's gonna go visible, and then it goes into Taurus. Okay, so let's see here. Today is the 9th. Okay. So the 9th, the 13th, the 14th, the 15th, and the 16th. And then it goes into, let me just make sure it's the same date. Taurus on the 16th. Okay. So then it's going to go into Taurus on the 16th. I really do think that y'all, I don't know if you saw the post that I made, but I said I'll be happy, and I'm sure I'm going to regret something about that because Jupiter just be doing what Jupiter does. But it's at a point in Aries where Jupiter's like, I'm getting ready to finish everything that needs to be done because I'm not coming back to Aries for another 12 years. So I just, you know how like when you're packing up and you're leaving, it's like intense, just doing everything you can to get all packed up so you can get the car loaded and get on your way to your trip. And it's like, did I get everything together? Am I leaving my house the way that I want it to be left? And do I have all my, everything that I need, my passport, my ticket? And especially if you have other people with you, it's like this fervor, and you're just rushing and you're wanting to get everything in the car. And when you get in the car, you're like, okay, oh my gosh, that was like a real push at the end, right? That's how I see Jupiter right now in Aries. It's just like, it's so powerful because it's invisible and it's about to become visible. And then it's like, I know I'm not coming back here. And then these last degrees of any sign, they're the most intense degrees of the sign. And so I think that's why we're just seeing all this about in the United States, especially, like we got to do something about the gun violence. And um we're seeing things amplify about the judges. It's like, oh, the judges, y'all don't have anybody to keep you in check, and you're doing a bad job of keeping yourself in check. It's just like all this stuff that Jupiter represents is intensifying, intensifying, intensifying. And so I just want to tell y'all, we need to just hunker down until May 16th. Then all of a sudden, shoot, we go into Taurus. Jupiter is not going to come back into Aries. And so like with all this intensity, this is how Jupiter is starting its time in Taurus, especially as we're ending Mercury retrograde right before that in the sign of Taurus. I just think it's important for you to be super intentional and mindful on how you will use this energy regarding self-worth, value, abundance, resources, okay? Whatever the lessons of Mercury retrograde have been for you, I think it's super important for you to really look at that. Hey, Oshun Kimmy, welcome. Oshun Kimmy in the house. Okay. Good morning, Latoya. Welcome. Glad you're here, Queen. Okay, so Jupiter in Taurus. I'm going to kind of give an overview, but this is another one that I'll go into depth inside of my membership. So again, I invite you to join. And so Jupiter in Taurus. Oh my gosh, I'm so excited about Jupiter in Taurus. I'm excited about Jupiter in Taurus because I have planets in Taurus. But Taurus in general is this sign that has to do with money, personal finances, and banks. So those are topics that are gonna really, rise up. Now, I don't really know how Jupiter is gonna go with this Taurus because, on the one hand, we've been dealing with inflation, we've been dealing with supply chain issues. That was a big deal in 2021. And I guess even in the 2022, it doesn't seem as bad this year as I've seen it. but it's definitely a sign that has to do with resources. So, it what Jupiter does is it's gonna reveal some of the problems when it comes to people being resourced. And it's highlighting these themes that Uranus has been bringing up. Is highlighting themes that the node of the moon has been bringing up, that's been there. And I remember Mars was right there with the moon and Uranus, and with the node of the moon and Uranus. They were just there. It was last year. I don't remember exactly what happened, but it's definitely this energy of like breakthrough and change and transformation and overhauling and just really going in a whole new direction. And so, you know, we definitely going to be focused on that, y'all. Okay. I just want y'all to know money topics are coming up. And so Jupiter can either enhance the good part of it, or Jupiter is going to be really showing the problems, and it's going to magnify the problems. It's just what it has been doing in all the signs. It's like, oh my gosh, Jupiter. But Taurus is abundance. So I'm feeling excited that we have that opportunity. It's about our self-worth, our self-values. Um, Taurus is ruled by Venus. Venus is a great benefic planet. Now, part of the time that Jupiter is in Taurus, Venus is going to be retrograde. So there's a part of me that's excited, but then there's also, I know for a fact that this is an opportunity. So wherever it is that something needs to change in your how you value yourself and your worth, that is important. Also, Taurus has to do with your material possessions. And so, Taurus is a sign of hoarding. And so I think that this will be an opportunity for us to address that. It's going to heighten. I think hoarding and like the Hoarders show might come back. I need to see when that show was hot on the air back in the day, because I bet you something was going on in Taurus. But hoarding is going to definitely be a topic that gets highlighted, or collecting. Some people will become collectors, or whatever these items are that they've collected, they'll be of high value and worth. And that's just going to become more and more apparent, because it's either you're hoarding or you're collecting. That is, it's no two ways about it. Um, Taurus is about food. It's about the earth. So I think there's going to be more like talk about legislation, because Jupiter has to do with legislation. So more talk about legislation when it comes to the earth and the resources of the earth. But of course, what Jupiter first is going to show us a lot of times is where things are totally and completely not being legislated, or they're off. They need new legislation. Um, Taurus is about the library, and it's about collection. So maybe even something that houses history, maybe museums. Mm, it's more of collections. I guess you could say a museum. I kind of relate museums to, I think Libra is more of like a museum, but make no mistake about it, Taurus does have to do with history. So maybe historical, television shows are going to come off, be up more, or just there's more focus on history. I even think our ancestral, like more people will be like, I want to really get more into the genealogy of my family. It could be something like that, but it's like you want to get it so you can store it somewhere, because that's Taurus. Some of us may find that we're putting a lot of stuff in storage, or maybe we're just like, I have too much stuff in storage. It's just sitting there. Why am I paying for this storage? Let me get rid of it. My mind just gets blown when I keep seeing all these storage places open. I'm like, why do we have all these storage places open? At least here in my city, I'm like, wow, it's a lot of storage facilities. So for me, when I think about Taurus, as someone who's a Taurus, I do have to really admonish myself from, you got too much stuff up in here, you know? And so I think that that's something that a lot of us will be looking at, like, do I really value this? Maybe the Marie Kondo concept will come back. Do I really value this thing? And, do I want to keep it or do I want to get rid of it? Okay, let me see if you have any questions. Hoarding, collecting, prepping. Yes. Let me see here. What else do we have here? Okay, so we're going to have the new moon in Taurus. And I've talked about the new moon in Taurus a little bit, but I'll mention it here. So, one thing I do love about the moon in Taurus is it's exalted. It's better than good in Taurus. So, again, like if you want to manifest something, this is the moon to manifest it. Okay. To set the intention for it to manifest, whether you come to the retreat or not. If you're in SAI with me, you automatically have a seat. But I encourage y'all to join me in this new moon circle because we are going to be getting our manifesting energy amplified and highlighted. And that's my biggest thing is I want y'all to be able to manifest at will. The other thing that I said I'm going to put in here is my how to set new moon how to set new moon intentions class. I created that recently, and I'm going to put that in here too. Because it's so important to me that you are able to manifest the life that you desire. Manifestation isn't always about stuff, but with Taurus, it is about stuff, just how it is. It's really about taking something and it's taking, what is manifesting? It is taking something that is in consciousness and making it manifest here in the physical reality. That could be a relationship, right? That could be a job, or it could be a trip or a house, who knows? It's all about I'm calling in something into my life. This is what I want to call in. I want to make sure that we really set that energy for the next year. Okay. Mars goes into Leo on the 20th. I love Mars and Leo. I love Mars and Leo. I love Mars and Leo because, Mars is passion and Leo is this sign that's about motivation and charisma and fun. Hopefully, we'll have more fun with Mars and Leo. But Mars is about focus. And so Mars is going to make us focus on all things Leo for about 6 weeks. You want me to tell you the thing that I'll say about that? Mars in Leo is like, okay, Venus is going to retrograde in this sign. So I'm just going to come through and I'm going to highlight for you some things that you may want to focus on when Venus comes here into Leo. So she's going to enter into Leo on June 5th. So once Venus goes into Leo, she's going to be there until probably maybe November, for sure October. Let me see here. Venus, yes, until October. So we better hunker down, y'all. We better hunker down. She's going to spend some good time. And Mars is really giving us that opportunity to kind of get a taste of what we're going to be focused on in Leo. What is Leo? Leo is children. It's like our hobbies and the things that we really love to do. Leo is what makes you shine and what makes you unique and stand out. And Leo is an energy that you need for leadership because Leo doesn't mind standing on that stage alone and leading and saying, this is what we need to do. It is romance. So Mars and Leo could bring more romance, or it could just bring a focus on like, I don't have enough romance in my life. What do I need to do to bring more romance into my life? Or dating. It might make people want to focus more on topics regarding dating, whether you're married or not. And let's see here. It's about business ownership. It's like turning a hobby into a business. And it's about risk taking. So while Mars is in Leo, you may feel like you want to take more risk, which for some people you need to. For some people, you don't need to be taking all those risks. You're going to need to temper that. I take way too many risks. And so for me, Mars and Leo, I'm going to have to channel it a different way. it could be a time where we want to just get out and have some fun and maybe dance quite a bit. It's very creative. Both Mars and Leo, very creative. So we may feel so creative. If there's something that you're working on that requires creativity, Mars and Leo will help you to be able to do that. The kicker is that Leo interacts with Taurus in a way that creates a little bit of stress and frustration. But both of those signs are slow to move. Okay. Leos, Tauruses, Scorpios, and Aquariuses, day in, day out, day in, day out, day in, same thing, day in, day out. But with all of that energy in Taurus, um, anything in Leo is going to feel like, oh, I really need to get myself moving. And you may not feel fully comfortable because you're being pushed to get it done. But in the end, you'll be so happy to get it done. And some of us will need to be really protecting our backs because Leo is the back, and maybe even something regarding the hair. So then on the 21st, the sun goes into Gemini. I freaking love the sun in Gemini. Gemini is so fun. So with having Mars and Leo and the sun in Gemini, I think that's going to be a lot of fun because both of those planets are fun, and Gemini is very much like, oh, I want to go hang out with my friends. It's chatty. I want to just chat, 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 and talk, talk, talk. And with Mars being in Leo and the sun in Gemini, it may feel like, we feel inspired in our minds. We maybe we're able to move past thinking more than than typical. So that's a nice little combination there. Um Let me see here. Is there anything else? The sun in Gemini is going to highlight in things. So first of all, Gemini is the sign that be doing the most. Happy birthday to all of the Gemini. Happy New Year to the moons and the risings in Gemini on the 21st of May. But Gemini is the sign that be doing the most. It signifies so much stuff. So you have to kind of figure out what it means for you. But it definitely has to do with the mind and mindset. So we might start kind of coming back. Mars kind of beat us up while it was in Gemini. It retrograded there. Mars beat us up. So the sun may come and bring something that's a little bit more soothing, a little bit more of a salve. We've had Venus go through. Mercury is going to be there. When does Mercury go into Gemini? Mercury in Gemini is really good. The sun goes there on May 21st. And Mercury goes into Gemini on June 11th. Mercury goes into Gemini on June 11th. So it'll be there a little while the sun is there. And so I think that'll help us. I think if you've been having problems with mental health and mindset, the sun in Gemini and then eventually Mercury coming in there is going to help us quite a bit. It's a business sign. If you need to write something, create social media, anything about communication, it will help with that. And travel, some of us may travel more with the sun in Gemini or make plans to travel, but it'll be short trips, nothing super long, just a really quick trip here and there. It's about making connections and networking. So some of us may find ourselves networking more or just hanging out with friends in our local community. It is also a sign that has to do with learning and skills. So some of us may sign up for workshops. Some of us may teach a workshop. Some of us may say, I want to start applying my new skills and find somebody to apprentice with. It's a business sign. It's a sign that has to do with managers. It has to do with the gig economy. So some people may feel like, oh, I want some extra money, but I want to go get a full-on job. So you'll do something like Uber, Lyft, or Uber Eats, or maybe you go on to one of the sites where they're just like, I need somebody to do this quick project for me. This is how much I'm going to pay you for, like doing VA work or something like that. But you don't want to work as a VA all the time. You just want to do it a little bit just to make some extra money. Gemini's working with the hands, so you just may feel, oh, it's a time where people will be out in their gardens, maybe. Because Jupiter in Taurus is this energy that has to do with the earth, and so a lot of people may get into having their own gardens even more now. And let's see here, Jupiter and Taurus with the food. Oh, something I had forgotten to say is I think that like how we buy our food is going to change. How we acquire our food may change with Jupiter and Taurus. And so with Gemini, it's going to be more of like doing that gardening. Okay. I think that's what I have for you all. So let me pull a card. We're going to go with Goddess Rising, African Goddess Rising deck today. Energy surrounding us for the month of May. What would that be? Let's see. Okay. I'm going to do this. Okay. I'm going to just go with what. Okay. I always doubt myself. I need to just do this real quick. And if it's supposed to be the same card, because it's the card that was on top. And I don't know. I don't know why I don't like it when my first pull is that card. But if I were to pull her again. Oh, I love this one. It's very similar to what I had pulled. So this one is called Asase Ya. Oh, she really is speaking. Asase Ya. Me too, Felicia. I love this deck. So she is the goddess of joy. So this is something for us to experience during the month of May. Joy. She's Ashanti out of Ghana, and she's actually a temple connected with the warriors. And her element is the bush. So Goddess Asase Ya rules life and death as the joyful crone celebrated as Mama Earth. Okay, so Taurus. Her energy is loving, fertile, and nurturing. And her name is invoked at major life transitions. And her guidance is this: your happiness matters. Joy is sacred. And your laughter waters the earth. So I really love that, especially with Mars going into Leo, Sun going into Gemini. Ha 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 ha. Let's laugh. Here's the embodiment. You deserve to be happy. It is safe for you to feel good. Allow yourself to feel joy with no limits. This is self-love. Your happiness doesn't need to look like anyone else's. If you can't imagine it, you won't be able to live it. And so she has what is called a giggle break therapy, a giggle therapy break. Close your eyes and see yourself joy filled. I want you to try that if you can. Close your eyes and just imagine you joy filled. Feel the feelings. See what you see, hear what you hear, feel what you feel. Now, laugh with your mouth and your eyes wide open. And this helps to release feel good endorphins. And your declaration for the month of May: I feel like me when I'm happy. I feel like me when I'm happy. So let me give you, where's my, here it is. An affirmation for this month. So we know joy is a major, joy and laughter. How can we, like, when we feel so serious, how can we have joy and laughter? Sometimes I turn on comedians. Yeah, that's one of the ways I get myself to laugh when I don't feel like laughing. How do you get yourself to laugh when you don't feel like laughing? Okay. Now this one is like, this is what we about to do. I am streamlined. Yes, I'm repping Zumba today. I love this shirt because it's pink. Even though it says Zumba instructor. I am streamlined. I reduce resistance and minimize clutter in my life. Oh my gosh. Definitely with this Taurus energy, we may notice more clutter. We it's there, but we don't notice it. Sometimes we can't see it. So how can you be more streamlined this month? I'm looking at your babies, your pits. I love that. Observe my old man and daughter. I love that. Yay. So, so good. Love, love, love that. For me, being more streamlined, tell me, how are you going to be more streamlined, or what's one thing you can do? Let's just focus on one thing you can do to be more streamlined. And for me, it is following my routines. I find that I have because I do love routines. I have actually already created them. I don't have to think about it. All I need to do is just look at my list. Do I have everything done? Do I need to do what's the next thing I need to get done? So on and so forth. So I am streamlined. So um yeah, I think that's what I have for you all today. Thank you all so much for being here. Is there a takeaway that you have? I would love to hear your takeaways. What is your takeaway? And let me see. Mm-mm. What are your takeaways, goddesses? Yeah. I would love it if you joined me in the retreat to reset at the 2023 new moon in Taurus. My goal is to help us move from where we are, which is whatever level of manifestation you are in your life, to move to the next level where you feel in control of your manifesting energy. Now, the other thing that I want to just say too is in the retreats, I get to hold you even more, right? Because it's on Zoom and it's just a really beautiful, safe space where you can come and just exhale, take some time out to just focus on you. So if sounds like something that you want more of in your life, join me in the new moon retreat. I have 12 spots available, only $22. I've lowered the price. Hopefully that will allow more of y'all to come in. I didn't tell y'all what day it is, did I? It is May 16th at, it says 6:30 here, but 7:30 Eastern time. I like talking in the Eastern time zone. So yeah, join me in the Taurus moon retreat, new moon retreat. Now, the last thing that I want to say is I'm going live again on Thursday. My doctors called me and said I can get my knee injection. It's going to be every Wednesday for the next 3 Wednesdays. So I will be live this Thursday for the Inspired Goddess Morning Circle. So I hope that you join me there. I will definitely make sure that I what am I doing here? I will make sure that I what am I trying to say? Oh, post the stream in advance so that y'all remember. Okay. I just need to finish what I start. I love that. Clean, organize, and prepare. Beautiful. I was lurking quiet today, but thank you for having me. Glad that you are here, T. Grace and ease, letting go. Ashe. Ashe-o. Remembering that Gemini is fun, not just nerdy. That is true, EM. Geminis can be very nerdy, actually. So, love that. Ocean Kimmy, let go and just let it flow. Yes. Hello, Kat. How are you? Welcome, Queen. Glad you are here. Gemini. Yeah, Gemini is coming up. It's coming up, baby. Gemini is going to be on the scene with the sun moving there at the end, closer to the end of this month. So thank you all so much. I appreciate you. And I hope that May turns out to be a month that feels good. I hope that we get that joy that the goddess has conferred on us, or that we maybe sometimes it's about choosing that joy. It's choosing how you feel. That's how I'm going to say it. All right, queens. Love you all so much. See you on Thursday.